Hello once again, witchy people. I'm back for a rant and a bit of a ramble. So this is a subject that I've covered before, I've spoken about before, and once again it is just my opinions. But it came up because a very, very talented lady was making what she called good intention dolls, and she was accused of, here's the phrase, cultural appropriation. And I thought this had kind of died down, and the thing is, she's a pagan and she's being accused within her own community, not from someone outside but within her own community. And it got me thinking a lot about cultural appropriation, culture appropriation, and misappropriation. So, and like I said, this is off the top of my head because I've been thinking about it. Never a good idea to make me think about things because this is what happens. So first of all, I think you have to kind of think, what is culture? I mean, okay, my son likes to wear glasses. They don't have, they're just glasses. They don't have a prescription lens in them. He likes the way they feel, he likes the way they look, and they kind of give him it's almost like a barrier against the world. It's how he puts his, like I put makeup on, he puts his glasses on. Now, there's a whole culture, the geek culture. So him wearing glasses that are just fake, is that cultural appropriation? So, you know, that's okay. That you may think that's a bit of a silly representation of it, but it's trying to put it kind of into perspective. For instance, a friend of mine had cornrows in her hair. This was going back so many years ago, I couldn't tell you. And she was accused of, because she's white, she was accused of cultural appropriation. And it got me thinking, well, hold on a minute. Cultural appropriation from whom? From which culture? Because let's face it, it's not just African Americans or Caribbeans or Africans that have cornrows. The ancient Egyptian did. The ancient Greeks used cornrows. The ancient Vikings had cornrows, you know, cornrows and plaits. Native American Indians have cornrows and plaits. So where's the cultural appropriation? And like I said, she makes good intention dolls, which was kind of funny because at the time, and I've just finished, I was making my puppets. And now the thing is about good intention dolls, puppets, and it's just a little keyring one. They're cute. I love them. So the thing about puppets and, like I said, good intention dolls, voodoo dolls, is this is not from any particular culture. It is a rip-off from Hollywood, really. This aesthetic is very Hollywood. But am I actually ripping off and having cultural appropriation from voodoo and hoodoo? You know, voodoo. No, I'm not. Because puppets have been used once again. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Celts have all used puppets. Forms of people, forms to represent people, to use magic against or for. So once again, where's the cultural appropriation? And it makes me angry because I hear so much of, I'm just going to turn I was supposed to be working whilst I was doing this, so I just had to turn my pyrography pen off. I hear so much about the global village, you know, one world, one village. we all come from the same place, you know, and about sharing and enclosing people within our circle, you know, and accepting everyone. And then you know, that's on one hand, and on the next breath and in the next hand you're talking about cultural appropriation. You want to share or you don't want to share. And the thing is, if someone copied my style, if someone copied my style or part of my heritage, I would not see that as an insult after all. You know, mimicry is the sincerest form of flattery. I don't think, for the most part, that anyone copies another, or it's not even copying, it's taking a part of a culture or something from the past and incorporating it into your own path and your own way of doing things. Nobody means it nastily, nobody means it to be horrible, and you know, so you can accuse the fashion world of cultural appropriation. You know, you can accuse decorators of cultural appropriation, painters. It's all going a bit too far. I mean, this woman's good intention dolls are astoundingly good. They're all individual, they're all handcrafted, they're absolutely brilliant. If I can find her website, I will link it below, and I hope that's okay with her. But, you know, how far do you need to go with this? Let's make cultural appropriation a thing of the past, and let's make acceptance the new norm. Let's stop accusing each other. I mean, like I said, this was within this own woman's community, her own pagan witchy community, that they started accusing her. And and we're not talking about just one or two little snarky comments. We're talking about they made her life hell. Because she's talented in making these little puppets, she calls them good intention dolls. She's never once called them voodoo dolls or anything else. You know, and someone actually put an idea into my head, and it was, if I can sort of get this out of my head in the right way. So a lot of voodoo was based on people from Africa being able to practice their own form of spirituality without their Catholic slave owners. God, what a horrible expression, slave owners. Without the people that bought them, the Catholics, from stopping them doing, you know, from expressing their spirituality. So they, in turn, used a lot of the Catholic and the Catholic Church and Catholicism within their spirituality to basically get away with being able to practice it. Is that cultural appropriation? You know, let's take this down to bare roots and take it extremely far. And if you do, and you have that frame of mind, everything is a cultural appropriation from something else. You know, it's all been done before. And I don't mean to insult anyone with this, and it is just my opinion, and it's fine if you don't agree with me and you think cultural appropriation is this horrendous, horrible thing that needs to be stopped right now. I don't see most what people think of as cultural appropriation as bad. I see it as a form of flattery. I see it as someone who's honouring and revering a certain part of what could be their culture. You don't know. Someone else's culture, something from the past. And like I said, I thought this had died down a couple of years ago. But for this lady to have gone through so much because she makes these amazing little things that she sells is ridiculous. So there you go. That's my rant. Agree with me, disagree with me, that's not the point of this. And like I said, I mean not to upset anyone or get anyone's hackles up. That's not the point of this. This is just my point of view of really what we're doing. let's have a bit of tolerance and a bit of acceptance and a bit of patting on the back and, hey, well done you, those are really good, not you're ripping off someone's culture when she's not. You know, I mean, I was a goth in the 80s, for goodness sakes. Ripping off culture? Hell yes. You know, it was an aesthetic that I liked. You know, still do actually. Dyeing my hair red. Is that cultural appropriation? I know the Egyptians used to like dyeing their hair red and using like clay in their hair to... How far do you want to go with this? So it's time really to lay that to rest and to have a bit of acceptance. And if we really are this global village, let's start embracing everyone. Not physically, because that might be a bit weird, but yeah, you know what I mean. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, witchy people. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.